Hey everybody, welcome back to the HIT.OR.DIE podcast with your hosts Jake Saldati and Chad Rothford. Here on a glorious Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, Tuesday
the day after the Rangers pulled off the upset.
Was it an upset?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
You call that an upset?
You have the defending World Series champions. Yeah, it's got to be an upset.
In the ALCS though, maybe in the division.
And the division champion. They won.
They did win on the last day.
So
it's not like, yeah. Well, I guess you can call it an upset. Yeah, welcome back, everybody. Hit or die. I got to shout out my cousin, Andrina. She listens to everything since day one. It's her birthday today. So happy birthday to Andrina. Thank you. No, I love you, cuz. I know nobody knows her, but listen, she listens to everything, so I got to shout her out. Hey, you know what? You brought something before we get into the baseball, the Astros, another Game 7 tonight. You brought up something last week privately on Netflix, Beckham documentary on there. And I got to say, good call. I'm not done, so don't want to spoil alert anybody. But if you haven't started it or watched it, I suggest go over to Netflix and get going on Beckham.
you don't even have to be a soccer fan.
No.
It'll make you one.
I'll tell you, since the World Cup, was it last year? I've really enjoyed a lot of the soccer. Like Amazon's got a bunch of stuff. And it's maybe because it's not so big here. Mm-hmm. It's the biggest sport in the world, obviously.
Yeah.
But those fans, I like, could you imagine that kind of fandom with teams in the States?
I don't know. There's too many teams.
And I think that's why it's not that way.
Yeah.
But dude, you're talking like generational fans.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and how much history, and it's fun to like learn about, because I'm not big into it, but I enjoy it. And yeah, I suggest people go watch, maybe like 2 episodes in. You've seen the whole thing twice.
I do suggest this. Watch the Beckham one first, and then go over to Apple TV, and they have the Messi one with him coming over to
Miami.
That's
pretty good.
It's legit.
Okay.
And that's got 3 episodes already, and that's like the next one's like November 1st. So, but watch the Beckham one first, just because the ending of Beckham kind of goes into, obviously at the end of his career, what he does. You know, he takes over Miami, the team.
So it's on Apple TV?
The Messi one's on Apple.
Okay. I don't think I have Apple.
It's legit.
But no, definitely.
Well, you need to have Apple
I
TV
need to
because
go.
you need to watch Ted Lasso.
See, I've never seen any.
Oh my gosh,
Ted Lasso. I'm sorry.
No, you're not sorry.
Isn't it already done though? Isn't there like one more season?
No, Lasso's done.
It's over.
It's over.
How many seasons was it?
4.
Okay.
4.
Yeah, I've heard of great things. I just have never seen it.
Well, now you have something to do.
I got a bunch of things to catch up on. This morning also, I just wanted to sneak this in, maybe a little fun conversation via yardbarker.com. And we've discussed this in the past about fans and teams, and it was the most annoying fan base in all of sports. Okay, and not just baseball. So, and it wasn't in order. It was just a list of annoying fans. Duke basketball's one. New York Yankees, Chicago Bears fans, Notre Dame fans, Patriot fans, to name a few, Lakers fans. I think, well, what about the top 5 most annoying baseball MLB fans? And we could probably do top 5 pretty easily. Maybe even, your wild card 6th and 7th fans. My list started with the Giants. But you made a really good point that it's not so much coast to coast. We do see some of that here on the West Coast, but there's
probably not many New York fans that are Giants fans. There's probably
There's
probably more California fans that are New York fans.
I would agree with that.
So that's kind of where I was at. We know how bad Giants fans are.
Can be
here.
But most of the stuff I see, like, it's usually It's not like annihilating their own team, though.
No, I think Giants fans are loyal to their Giants team because even though they suck, but they will be all in, and they're the ones that are okay with like, yeah, we suck this year, you know.
Yeah, they're not like murdering their franchise play. They never destroyed Buster Posey.
They're Cy Young, they're Hall of Famer.
Buster Posey. They never burned Posey, Crawford,
Bumgarner.
But like they didn't just annihilate like the Dodgers fans do Kershaw or did, you know what I mean, in the playoffs, stuff like that. So that's why I had the Giants in there, but maybe that's a bad pick. Astros for me at 4. Red Sox 3, Dodgers 2, Yankees 1. That's me. I kind of like your list better. Go ahead.
Well, we had the first two the same.
Dodgers, Yankees 1, Dodgers 2 for you.
And then I went Astros just because of what happened with them allegedly cheating. And then
can we stop with the alleged?
And then I went Phillies and Red Sox.
Which I like the Phillies pick. And I think there's some others in there that you could probably talk.
Just because Philly as a whole is known for
football.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Eagles, the Sixers, the Flyers, they're known for being
rowdy.
Yes.
We'll say rowdy.
And we've seen it the last couple of years in the playoffs with baseball. They get after it.
And I mean, that's got to be a huge advantage for your team.
Yeah, you'd think so.
So I like the Phillies pick. Annoying? I don't know though.
I don't know. You'll see it in the message.
But and listen, they beat the Braves and all that. But like, I still don't even like look at them as they are just they're diehard for their city.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool. There's a couple other maybe you could throw in there. I thought maybe the Cardinals might be a team.
I mean, they didn't even have the Cubs in there or the White Sox.
Yeah.
They could be a good argument.
Which, in Chicago, who's worse, Cubs or White Sox fans?
Probably Cubs.
I'm just asking. I don't even know. If you have a team in there in your top 5, or if we're wrong, let us know. Dude, the other thing I had sent to me yesterday, shout out Luke Sula, this new league in Dubai. I didn't really know anything about it until a day or two ago. And then he sent me this draft. And it's a new league in Dubai. Had their draft yesterday. And there's some former big leaguers in there. And when I say former, like 40 plus, I think Bartolo Colon's one of them who's 50. You don't have to read all the rounds, but some of the big
There's only 10 rounds that they posted.
How many teams are on that thing?
Looks like 4.
4? It's the live baseball, this live golf, but taking over baseball.
I'm rooting for the Purple Cobras.
The Globo Gym Purple Cobras.
Yeah.
What big leaguers other than, I know Cologne was one, I think.
Cano.
Robinson Cano, yeah. I saw Sandoval too.
Pablo was, Andrelton Simmons.
Okay.
Alex Liddy is known for Team Italy, I think, for Didi Gregorius was the 3rd pick.
Oh, yeah, Didi. Dang.
Pablo's 4th pick. Jared Jurgens. Bartolo was in the 2nd round.
We're going to have to
I
keep
think
our eye
William
on
Rosario is a big leaguer. Dwight Smith Jr., I think. That's not, I mean.
Yeah, I don't know much about it. I don't know when it starts. I'll have to, I'm going to look into some more of the, again, baseball. I think Baseball United is what it is on Instagram. I'm not sure what it is on other platforms. I'm going to assume the same handle. But Baseball United, new league in Dubai with some former big leaguers, just had a draft. I mean, I'm always down for something different. I don't know how good or competitive it's going to be. But again, I'm not going to bash it until I give it a shot and watch it and see what it is. It's kind of I think I told Luke, it reminds me of like a really good adults, grandpa or whatever, dad's baseball league. So again, we'll see what it's all about. But new league starting. I just thought that was interesting. More baseball stuff. Dude, getting right into it. Last night, Monday night, you had Game 7 of the ALCS. Texas Rangers at Houston Astros. And Rangers get the win. 11-4 was the final. In a very back and forth series. Kind of weird, but The Rangers 8-0 on the road in the playoffs.
Yep.
They win all their games in the ALCS on the road, lose all 3 at home, which is, again, why I thought it was a little weird. They are 1-3 at home in this postseason, 9-3 overall in the postseason. Anything about last night? Obviously, I don't know if anybody expected it to be the stadium was empty in like the 6th, 7th. Like there's nobody behind home plate to watch.
Which, us being at Houston, I wish that would have happened. We would have walked down and sat behind home plate.
Yeah.
I don't know why I feel mad. Because I've always stuck up for the Astros, right?
You have.
Ever since the thing.
You have been a supporter.
But I did pick the Rangers.
You did.
So.
And I think because Dusty has gotten his World Series, you can.
I was more with Bochy.
Liking that he's a first year.
But I love Bregman. I do like Altuve. I do like Alvarez. I think, but it's good to see Seager. I didn't know the Rangers have never won a World Series in the history of the organization.
No, they lost 2 in a row.
Yeah, I know Adolis Garcia, whatever his name is. He's a really good player. I just think, I don't know.
Well, Game 5. Brought some heat, literally. Brian Abreu hit Adolis Garcia after he'd hit a home run in a, I don't know if it was a big moment, but it was at home, gives you the lead, and he gets hit in his next at-bat. I don't even know if it's worth arguing whether it was intent. Who cares? Like he did, I don't know how long it took him to get to first base.
13 seconds.
Okay. With a bat slam.
And over 30 seconds around the bases.
Okay. Are you under the under the idea or the thought is that it policed itself?
Yes.
And let's just move on.
Yes. You have every right to walk as slow as you want, but you have to be willing to take, the repercussions or whatever, so, I'm just mad it wasn't Verlander because I know Verlander probably would have went headhunting. But, it's part of the game. Everybody wants to see flashy pimp jobs and all this kind of stuff. Well, you know what? Fucking wear a ball.
Yeah, there's another side to that.
Wear it. I've worn baseballs. My teammates have worn baseballs. It happens whether it's intentional or not. Like I told you over the phone, he didn't go headhunting. Hit him in his elbow guard.
I also don't think it got away from him.
No, I think it was intentional.
But again, it doesn't matter.
But then it's like, well, the game's close. Why the hell would you put somebody on?
And it was late in the game. So they're down 2. And so what happens is Major League Baseball, I believe Saturday, lays down a suspension of 2 games. And per the player agreement, the MLBPA, in playoffs, you have 48 hours to respond or review an appeal. So the suspension was appealed, I'm assuming, Saturday when it was handed down. Now, the Astros played Sunday with no answer to that appeal. They didn't get it till Monday before the game, last night, Game 7, which I think is kind of shitty considering there's only 4 teams playing, and on Sunday, I think, Sunday was both teams were playing, but still, why you can't get an answer to an appeal quicker?
You would think you'd get the answer within 24 hours or 5
what
hours.
Else is there what else is there to go over?
If you're a baseball person going over the appeal, you're probably watching the game and know what happened. And
I'm not a fan of the Astros either. I'm just I'm sure Dusty would have liked to have known, hey, will he be available Sunday?
Yeah.
And then Monday. Now Monday, you're okay. Am I going to have it? That's a big piece for them.
Did he get suspended?
Yeah, he missed 6 and 7. They're set up.
No, when you appeal, you can play when you're appealing.
He couldn't play. It was pending a decision by Major League Baseball. So that's
not stupid too, because I thought during the year, if you appeal, you play while you're appealing. Because I've seen guys play.
I just saw he wasn't available. 2 games. For that, for what happened in Game 5.
Yeah.
So to you, I mean, I guess, was it worthy of a suspension? Have we seen worse?
Yes. Yes. And if my thing is, okay, you're going to suspend him. Well, everybody left the bench. I know in certain.
Well, and Garcia went at Maldonado first.
I don't know. I feel like you can't suspend just one guy in a situation like that. So you might as well just suspend nobody.
And I mean, that's why I bring it up, because if you go, listen, Garcia was the MVP of the series. And listen, I don't want to also blame it on that, because the Rangers in game 6 and 7 outscored the Astros 20-6. So, like, you got to put up some runs too.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, you know what I mean? It's not because of one relief pitcher who's going to pitch, 2 innings in 2 days. It's not why you lost. But maybe in those moments late in the game where the Rangers rallied for 3 or 4, maybe that is different. I don't know. But Garcia ends up being the MVP. His line, by the way, was 10 for 25, 7 runs, 5 home runs, and 15 ribbies in 7 games. So pretty impressive. On the Astros side, Altuve had a pretty good series, 10 for 32, 9 runs, 3 bombs, 5 ribbies, and again, a huge home run in the 9th in game 5 to actually give them the win. Yordan Alvarez, though, is pretty special. Mm-hmm. He had in 7 games at least 2 hits other than game 1. 0 for 4 in game 1. He finished 13 for 27 with 5 runs, 2 bombs, 9 RBIs. Pretty impressive. Again, you don't see teams lose at home, teams win on the road. I think it happened a few years ago, actually. But again, Houston loses all 4 at home, and the Rangers lose all 3 on the road or at home as well.
I think it happened in.
It was a couple of years ago.
It was when the Astros beat the Dodgers.
Was that what it was? It was something like that.
Well, I mean, the Dodgers didn't win at home because the Astros were cheating at their place. So it was the same situation. The Dodgers had to win 1 game.
Were you surprised? Is that surprising to you, considering the 2 teams that were playing, that nobody can win at home?
Yes.
When that's supposedly the advantage.
I mean, we've been in Houston.
Yes, it was fucking crazy. In a good way.
Yeah.
The atmosphere was awesome.
And with the way they were playing and like beating that, like beating the Rangers at home and then going to back to Houston, it's just like,
in a game 6, you have your guy with Framber, that like you have your guy on the bump.
You're thinking they're going to win 1. And
then last night, what you got out of Scherzer, in game, I think it was game 4 or 5, or game 3 even. And they got to him again. It wasn't enough. Like the Rangers there was no slowing down the Rangers. It's just kind of a crazy series. But, I was going for the Rangers. I'm glad the Rangers won. I'm not mad that they, I'm not an Astros fan. I wanted a good series. We got a good series. Mm-hmm. And the same with the NL side. We're getting a great series that nobody thought was going to come down to a game 7 a week ago. Guaranteed. And if you did, you're a fucking liar. You know what I mean? There's nobody after those first 2 games in Philly and a 10-0 game 2 that you thought, this game's going to go 7 or the series is going to go 7. I do have a question regarding Altuve, and I was thinking about this last night. Well, last couple days, really, during the series. 13 years in the big leagues. His career batting average thus far is .307. He's 200-plus home runs, 2,000-plus hits. He's an MVP, 6-time All-Star, 6 Silver Sluggers, a Gold Glove, 2 World Series championships, 3 batting titles. Do you project that Altuve will be a Hall of Famer?
I think you could say so. And then you look at his numbers in the postseason. I think he's 2nd all-time in homers in the postseason behind Manny Ramirez.
So, having said that, if Altuve gets into the Hall of Fame, can we put these other guys in? What does that say to a Pete Rose?
I don't know. What did Altuve do?
What did the team do?
Yeah, what did Altuve do?
I mean, he was a part of that team. It's not, and it's not even an
So
accusation.
so everybody that was a part of a player that had steroids, should we?
That's what I'm saying.
Should the whole team be punished? Should we take away all the wins or all the? I don't care what anybody says. Playing this game and knowing how hard it is, and like steroids, whatever steroids does for you, whatever, knowing what pitch is coming and all that kind of stuff, your ability still has to take over and do it.
But I'm saying it's not an argument that the Astros didn't cheat the game. It's not an argument. It's a fact. It happened. It's been admitted to. There's a page on it from Major League Baseball. I don't think it was like 17 pages, but there's a whole thing done on this. Like, it's not an argument.
Well, then Verlander shouldn't be a Hall of Famer.
What I'm not saying Altuve shouldn't be. What I'm saying is if a known cheater,
I don't know. I'm not gonna. I think the writers are stupid anyway.
does that open the door for
No.
a Pete Rose? Who, I mean, did he cheat the game? I don't know. Just an interesting question to me. That's all.
I'm kind of over it anyways, because there's nothing we can say or argue about that. Should Altuve be a Hall of Famer probably after his career? Yes. Should Pete Rose be in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Of course. Should Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, A-Rod, Manny Ramirez, all these guys be in the Hall of Fame? 100%. But that's coming from a baseball fan that also played the game and knows how hard it is. Just like you played the game, you understand it, you've coached it forever, you're a baseball guy. Watching those players play, whether it was cheating or not, that was such a crucial time in sports. We don't know where baseball would be right now if all that shit didn't happen in the past. But I do think the one big one is Pete Rose, because everything now has to do with betting on the game of baseball. Yet he didn't even bet on the game as a player. It was as a manager. So it's like, let him in as a player then. Like, I don't know. It's hard to argue. I think until a new commissioner is in there, we might see some changes. I think Manfred's just a big old pussy and he's not going to do anything. So I don't know.
And I'm not saying Altuve shouldn't be.
No, I just
you
we
talk
leave it
about
up to people that don't know anything anyways.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like
that's the problem.
I feel like if he does, you've officially, like, people. I remember when people,
and he probably won't. He'll probably won't get votes because of
that
the Astros thing. So, even though he's a good media guy, he always talks on. That was the knock on Bonds and some. Bonds cheated and nobody liked him in the media. So it's just. Which that's not even proven. That's the argument with Bonds. It's never been proven. So I don't know. I just hate talking about the Hall of Fame because it's just annoying. Because it's just what is a Hall of Fame? I mean, we don't even know anymore anywhere.
True. What it's going to become. Again, I know we've talked about it 100 times. I just thought it was interesting that, again, I like Altuve. I think he's going to be a Hall of Famer. And there's people that'll think not because of what happened. And because of that, that's why other guys aren't in. Mm-hmm. And so if he's in, then other guys should now be in.
Well, I mean, there's also the argument of guys that are in already that took steroids.
Well, and that's where I was going with that, with like Pudge. Like, everybody would accuse the Pudge about it, and he got in and
first ballot.
It's and I'm not saying he did or didn't. I have no idea of any of these guys. I'm just saying, like,
I think Biggio probably dabbled in it.
There's guys that should be in that aren't. And if Altuve's one where we know what happened that year, and I know you brought up the team with the other guys that.
I know.
How many of those guys are potential Hall of Famers? Maybe Verlander, not maybe he is. There's not a ton of guys yet. So
I mean, Bregman might.
Yeah.
By the end of his career.
Is Correa potentially a guy? You never know. No.
No.
Correa's not.
I don't know. Who am I? I do want to say this though, Sethelberry.
You got him. You got him. It's been a week.
I will take the comp to Schwarber.
Okay.
Because I guess if I'm taking that, all I'm doing is setting records and play.
Yeah, I mean that's what he's doing.
So I mean, I'm a postseason player, baby. His batting average ain't under 200 in the postseason.
No,
so, I mean,
it's not. Speaking of, if you have an opinion on that Altuve question, by the way, please feel free. Game 7 NLCS goes down tonight. Back in Philly. Philly drops game 6. And tonight the D-backs are going to the rookie again. And Ranger Suarez set up for Philly. Did you expect this series to get to 7?
No. I was thinking 4 at the most. I was thinking Diamondbacks should get 1 game.
That would be 5.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Not a sweep. Listen, I'm not surprised because I said it last week. There's still outs to get. But I am a little surprised. And the D-backs have done it with some quality pitching when they needed it, bullpen when they needed it. Some of the lines, Harper's line, 5 for 19 thus far, 7 runs, 2 bombs, 3 ribbies. Schwarber's line thus far in 6 games, 7 for 16, a couple walks for each of them, 8 runs, 5 home runs for Schwarb, and 5 RBIs. And I just can't help but think if he's in a different spot in the lineup,
maybe he'll drive in some
runs. 5 solo shots.
Well, I mean, if the guys aren't on base.
But he's hitting leadoff.
Yeah, but how many of them are leadoff homers?
There's a couple of
them. There's only one at bat where he's the leadoff.
Where he hit a bomb?
Well, no, I'm just saying there's only one at bat in the game where he's the leadoff hitter. It's the first at bat of the game.
But he could be leading off in other innings.
Well, yeah, so could anybody.
He's got 5 solo shots regardless.
Yeah, I know.
So is it living and dying by the long ball?
The lineup's not turning over.
Long ball team playing that type of game? I don't know. They didn't really in game 2.
I don't know.
They just flat out raked in game 2. But to that's between those two guys, that's 7 home runs. The D-backs have 5 combined for the series total. 2 from Alek Thomas, Perdomo, Tommy Pham, and Gurriel Jr. have bombs for the D-backs. Again, they've gotten it done with some timely pitching, bullpen. We are game 7. I think I forget the young man's name from Arizona. Is a rookie tonight, and Ranger Suarez.
Is it that fart guy?
Yeah.
What's his last name?
I don't know. I'd rather not even throw an attempt out there. Where are you going?
I'm with Philly. I've been a Philly. I picked the Phillies from the beginning.
So you're riding. I'm staying with Philly as well. I just, again, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not.
Nobody wants to see that World Series.
Arizona and Texas.
Yeah.
Come on. The numbers. I mean, could you imagine Philly and Rangers? That'd be massive.
Yes.
Rangers and Diamondbacks. Not so much. So Phillies Rangers is what you're saying is going to happen. Phillies, and listen, Philly at home, game 7. I don't know. I don't know how you pick against that. You're doing some research.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what that guy's name is.
You'd have to watch a video of somebody saying it or something.
No, is it the Brandon Pfaadt?
Spell it.
Pfaadt. Fad.
And I saw Thomas is not in the lineup tonight, which again is Rangers a lefty, so they're playing matchup. Mm-hmm. He's probably, that's been the long ball threat for them.
He'll come in and pinch hit
at some point, yeah. So Phillies, you're saying Phillies get it done tonight, game 7, and you're saying we're having a Phillies Rangers World Series.
I'm hoping.
I'm with you on that. I'm not hoping. I don't care either way, but I picked the Phillies. And I think
care. I care.
Why do you care?
Because I would love to see Harper win a World Series, but I would also love to see Bochy solidify his name as the best manager in the history of the game.
You think?
They lost 100 games 2 years ago. They lost 94 last year, and they come in here. They win 100 games. They almost win the division, and they go to the World Series.
3 pennants with 3 teams. Well, more than that, but he's won three different teams. 3 World Series or 3 different teams to the World Series.
Yeah, and this would be his 4th World Series.
Does Joe Torre get on that list?
Yeah, I mean, sure, Joe Torre's on the list, but
they were pretty loaded.
But you also buy your players and that kind of thing.
Texas spent some money.
Don't get me wrong. This one, yeah, but he came into it. He came into that. Joe Torre was there, and then that's when they made the switch because Buck Showalter was there right before Joe Torre. But like with the Giants, I mean, those were all homegrown, you know. So
San Diego was a little surpriser too, I think.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Hey, I like Buck. I also think, thinking of Arizona, I'm thinking of Bannister, who's been on this podcast. It'd be cool to see him win. Also, I was thinking if they do win, wouldn't Bumgarner be?
He might get a ring.
Good to get a ring. Yeah, I know he got released at some point, but that'd be number what, 4? 4 for, to the Giants fans that still love.
He probably wouldn't accept this one though.
You don't think so?
Knowing him,
maybe. Would you?
Yeah, of course I would. I'd go to the parade and everything.
I would too.
I'm gonna enjoy this. You guys released me fucking in May, and now I'm got a World Series ring. Thanks.
You'd be at the parade. That's funny. So then let's say it is. Let's just go ahead and say it's going to be Phillies, Rangers. Who do you take?
I'm taking Phillies.
It's just Harper. I get it.
Because my original was Orioles, Phillies, and then when the Orioles lost, I chose Rangers, Phillies. But Phillies was my go-to. I'm a big Harper guy. I've always, ever since like just his story, I've always been a big fan. So I'm going Harper. I mean, he leaves, the Nationals win. A lot of people question it, including me, him leaving and going to Philly. But his work ethic is undeniable. So I'm pulling for Harper. So
hey, there's nothing wrong with that, and I would be all for it. I like.
But if
both.
the Rangers won, it wouldn't bother me.
Listen, as a NL East fan team of mine in the same division, it's hard to root for them. But I do like Bryce Harper. Again,
But it just makes your division look better.
Well, we talked about it. Well, look at it. The NL East, the AL West, surprisingly enough. So, and that's what 21 was the same thing with the Astros and Braves in the world. So it's, those have been the two dominant.
And last year. Astros and Phillies.
Dominant division. So, God, I don't want to say the Phillies, but I do. I like Harper. I like Trey Turner.
Yeah,
I like Realmuto. Connor Brogdon's our boy. Like
Baum's been, better, at third base because there was a question mark on him last year. So,
but I like Texas.
I know. I like Seager.
It's been fun to watch this run. Evaldi's. I like Evaldi, who's been dominant this postseason.
I like Scherzer.
So that's going to be that's the World Series we get. It's going to be fun. I don't even want to put a game amount on it because I have no clue. Very easily go 7.
Yeah.
With some high powered offenses, obviously. Mm-hmm. Again, if it's the Diamondbacks and the Rangers.
I'm going Rangers.
I just think but again, I thought Philly's too much offense for Arizona, and yet they just find a way to keep getting to the next game. But I would take the Rangers.
But that's what happens to a team that, like, let's be honest, the Diamondbacks were probably only picked to win by Arizona fans.
Yeah, I would.
You know what I mean? Like, so they're playing with nobody gives us, they have a different mindset. They're playing with nobody gives us any credit.
Well, they don't have the superstars that everybody's got. They haven't put that money that the Phillies and the Rangers and the Dodgers and they haven't put that money yet.
Yeah.
Evan Longoria, who's been in the league a long time, starting. Like, you have some vets and a great crop of young players. I like the story. Because it's not big names, though. It's not appealing to people.
Yeah.
So, and that's where being a baseball fan first, I think, makes it fun regardless who's there. Mm-hmm. That's the side of the story that is fun about it. It is some nobodies, the misfit, the island of misfit toys that we refer to. Mm-hmm. But I still think the Rangers it's a lot of offensive power there. They're again 8-0 on the road. I think they'll be better at home. Who knows? But I think the series that everybody wants to see, like we've said, Phillies and the Rangers, we'll know tonight. Tonight, Game 7. This will be out tomorrow, so Wednesday. So we'll know. We'll know who's the World Series going to be. And I think the World Series starts Friday. Mm-hmm. So.
In Texas.
In Texas, yes. I was thinking, too, you brought up Harper. I had this conversation with somebody about Trout. And I don't know, how long's Harper been in the league?
I think they've been in the same. Or maybe Trout was a year or two.
Yeah, he's got like 13 years or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We were talking about like if we had to draft, not right. I don't know it was something like that. Like Harper, while he doesn't have the MVPs, put up some pretty darn good numbers. I don't know. It was he was calling Trout the best player of our generation. And I was like, I don't know. Is he? Is he though?
I think
it's a really hard question.
It's hard because everybody's going to talk about postseason, but Trout doesn't have. It's not like he can be like, yeah, let's go play in the postseason. Like his team sucks. Like he played for a terrible team, and I think the argument is for him to do what he's done on a team that really is not in contention ever, except for the 1 year he went. It's hard to take that away from him because like I've said before, I think it's harder to play good knowing that you guys are going to lose one and you being like the only guy except for the last couple of years with Ohtani there. But, Harper's been very impressive in his career and he's had a really good postseason. I think that's where people are going to pick Harper over Trout is because of the postseason numbers and what he's done in the postseason. Because Trout hasn't had that opportunity.
And I guess when you say like of our generation, I guess you got to bookmark those or bookend them. Like when
it's not my generation.
Well, yeah, my generations, we've got different. Like I'm sorry, but Miguel Cabrera's careers.
Pujols,
we got a handful of guys that have career numbers when they're all said and done. I don't think either of those guys are going to have the same numbers as a Miguel Cabrera or a Pujols, or an A-Rod. Mm-hmm. Manny, Bonds, regardless, the stories behind all those players or not. Like, I just don't know if those guys are going to get there.
Yeah.
So this generation, the last decade, I really don't know what criteria you put on. And it's not fair. I haven't looked at the numbers. Like, I haven't compared the stats. I haven't broken all that down. It was just a conversation that we were having. And I was like, I got to ask Chad that. Because, again, it could be different, not even those two players. You know what I mean?
I think I would still pick Trout. If I had to pick one or the other, I think I would still pick Trout. Because I think all around, average is big to me. You know that. We've talked about it. Average is big to me. I think the higher average, the more you're getting on base, the more runs you're driving in. Homers aren't always the end-all, be-all for me. I would still pick Trout. Now, why don't you switch Trout and Harper and see how good Harper? Would he have won those MVPs with the Angels? How would Trout do with the Nationals? How would Trout do with the Phillies? I would almost think he'd have better numbers being on a better team with more support. So that's where I feel like Trout's still that guy because he did it without the support.
Yeah, and the last few years, couple years at least, Harper's had,
but he's also been injured.
Yeah, and he had that in Washington for a little bit too. He had some guys there. And listen, not that Trout really hasn't. It just hasn't worked out. Guys, they were like one of the most injured teams I feel like every year, including him.
Yeah.
So that plays a role too. I think you're right. I would I'd probably have to agree. I think that's a good breakdown of how to think about it. Because then you have also this current group. Like, we don't know what Judge is going to be. We don't know what Yordan Alvarez is.
Well, Judge is old too.
Yeah, what is he, 29?
No, he's
30?
31, I think.
Is he? So, but he's still got years left to play.
Yeah.
And again, there's some younger guys even coming up. So it's always an interesting question. And leading into that, we talk about Jordan and LeBron a lot, right? People always bring up the GOAT. And somebody was talking about it I was scrolling TikTok, and they were bringing it up, and it was like, what if the careers, like not careers, but the time they were in the league was flipped?
Like what if
LeBron came first with the same numbers he's got now, and Jordan came after with the same numbers Jordan had, whether with championships and all that? Would we still say Jordan's the GOAT? Or because Jordan came first? Although Magic and a lot of those, Kareem and
how do you not say Jordan? I mean, the championships, first of all, the MVPs, the finals MVPs, the defensive player of the years, the
taking time off to come back and win.
Yeah, the all NBA teams, the scoring titles.
Could he have played longer? Did he left when he wanted to? I don't know. He didn't play as long as LeBron. Could he have played as long?
Yeah, and that's another thing with him retiring twice or whatever and coming back,
I just thought if LeBron's career happened before Jordan's, what would we be saying? And I don't know.
Air LeBron.
Did he do it? I thought it was interesting. Like, would we be talking about it because a lot of people talk about very sure of themselves.
Could LeBron handle the defense back then?
That's a good point.
Jordan got hacked. You saw it in the documentary. Like, teams were going after him to put him down, and it didn't faze him. It made him better. So, I don't know. They're both great players, and we've never said LeBron wasn't a great player. But
I don't know enough about basketball to.
But like, I've heard things like, has anybody tried to steal a pair of Jordans from somebody? LeBron's.
No.
I mean. You know what I mean? So it's just like,
are his shoes going for, thousands of dollars?
Yeah. So it's just, there's only one.
You can't base, those not a reason to base.
I know
who the greatest is.
It kind of is though. If you think about it.
It's pretty funny. Another hypothetical, as I like to do. We can wrap it up with this. If you could be elite at any one sport, what would it be?
Am I like 10U elite or
no? You are a professional elite at the maybe not the best or whatever, but you are a top player in whatever sport it is. Like
the top 1%. You're gonna be
You're
gonna be a millionaire.
Whether it's the big leagues, whatever it is, it's just you are up there. You are an elite player. What sport do you think you would want to be elite at if you could pick anyone?
So this is kind of tricky because I want to pick golf but if I was the top 1%, I would still pick baseball because that was my dream.
That's it? The dream?
Yeah. Why wouldn't I want a 10-year, $350 million contract?
I didn't say like you were.
That's elite. Come on, bro. You see the league now. There's not a lot of elite players. The elites are getting the big contracts.
Okay.
If I'm elite, I'm getting a fucking 10-year, $400 million. If I'm Schwarber, I'm getting a big contract. Come on.
I don't even know what his contract is.
I don't either.
Yeah, I liked and how much fun. Like, you hear the noise when these guys hit these home runs in these playoff games.
Oh yeah. You don't get that in golf, or I don't even think any sport for that matter. I mean, football maybe, but
rarely in golf. Let's say that rarely.
Yeah, and only at the Ryder Cup, and
or that the waste management.
Can't get loud.
What is it? The 16th hole there. Like, you don't get that kind of roar from a crowd.
I'm sorry too, and you get Jews. Like, I fed off of like being away and like other teams like Adolis or whatever his name is. Like, I fed off that shit too, So
you want to kill the energy.
Yeah. Yeah, you want a mic drop on the away team or the home team or whatever. So it's just.
Well, he did that.
He did more than once.
He absolutely did that. You okay?
Yeah.
You okay with the Astros? I don't think you've seen. I know you picked the Rangers. You don't seem okay with the Astros loss.
I just don't like everybody hating on them.
You don't like everybody being so happy they lost.
Yeah. You know? Yeah.
I'm happy they lost.
I know you are.
I don't hate them or anything like that. It's just I'm glad they lost. I didn't, glad they lost. It was just,
Yeah. I'm glad the Braves lost too.
Oh, okay. Baseball. I was gonna say golf too, but then I'm watching like Beckham play in these soccer stadiums.
I don't want to play soccer,
bro. But like watching him play, because I don't remember watching him play when I was younger. Like, you know what I mean? Holy cow, dude was legit. But golf though, like golf, you can play golf longer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can make really good money playing golf longer than you could probably play baseball for a career, football.
Get an elite contract.
I mean, you have the senior tour though, where you're still making dough. You're not playing, unless we have the senior Major League Baseball league.
I'll go to Dubai.
Play for the who is it?
I'll play for the Purple Cobras. That was my dream.
You did.
You know what I mean? I was like, I wanted to be the best baseball player ever, So if I could have that opportunity, I'd take it in a heartbeat. I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't, because that's what I wanted to do. So whether I'm going to make millions of dollars if I'm an elite baseball player. And I know I'd make a lot of money playing golf, but it's like, I also make a pension, Golf, I don't know if they have a pension. If you play long enough, you get just.
Oh, I'm sure they have something.
Money. So I don't know.
Play on the best golf courses in the world.
But I could do that with a lot of money. I could just pay to go play.
You're playing baseball
when I'm retired.
What's the and then golf? You technically don't retire until everybody else retires. Really.
Yeah. So I can go play golf for fun while there's still 70-year-olds playing golf for.
And it's not, and it's like, and golf's hard on your body also.
Oh yeah.
People may not, think that, but yeah,
Walking's no joke. Four rounds. Those
courses
and then
they
long.
play practice rounds, and I think when Tiger's had a bunch of knee surgeries, even outside of his accidents. Mm-hmm. I think other guys have as well. Yeah, I like that. I like you sticking with baseball. I don't know. I'd have to pick between one of those two. I mean, I like your baseball argument too. But then you watch these football guys, bro, running out of a. Really?
Nope.
Okay? Let's try that.
If you could pick
your top 3 sports,
as cool as it would be to be an elite quarterback in the NFL, and like get spatted up and like wear the gear, because I love football equipment. The way football is now with tackling. There's no way. There's no way. Injuries are just every day now. So I wouldn't pick football. My 3, well, it'd be baseball, golf. It's not even, I don't even know, because I don't want to pick football. I don't basketball. Fuck that. I'm a white guy. Can't be elite for how long?
You get smoked at basketball.
I don't know. What would be a good? I guess soccer. Hockey.
Hockey.
I don't know. Just because I always want to play hockey.
Yeah, those guys are insane too.
But like Gretzky.
Yeah.
To be elite hockey player. Just fucking score goals and you don't even have to be the guy to fight, because you're the star and everybody will fight for you.
I still think that's the hardest championship to win.
Yeah, I think hockey's the hardest sport to play. You got to skate and have hand-eye and all that shit.
And maneuver.
Yeah.
And you're on ice. Harder than baseball?
I think so.
Interesting.
Only because I've done baseball and I don't think it's that hard.
Well,
I mean, I think it's hard, but to me, it's not as hard like to average Joe. I think, but hockey would be fucking hard to me. You know? Just like I bet Wayne Gretzky would say the same thing. Hockey's easy. Baseball is probably hard.
see, mine are no fun. I would probably say I would probably go golf, baseball, and then I don't know, maybe sprint car racing.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That's your shit though, and I've been there, and I used to give you shit for it until I went. But that shit gets fun. That's
there's local guys, Carson Macedo and his I think cousin or family member. There's a few, the Selzies. Like there's a lot of local talent out here. Corey Day, people. I'm just nerding out right now on sprint car racing. Nobody knows.
Hey, nerd away.
But I'm just saying, like those guys are insane. And if you have a moment, maybe go watch some sprint car racing on YouTube. There's a bunch of it. But yeah, that to me, those guys are some of the best drivers in the world. They're like F1. Just
how much money are they making? The elite?
I don't know, but probably not a ton. Definitely nowhere near like these, like a football, baseball,
golf,
hockey, golf, nothing like that. I wouldn't think, but I could be way wrong. I don't know. I know some people that would know. I might have to reach out and find out. But no, it's just the talent that those guys possess is insane.
Yeah. Those they don't pee and poop in their diapers, like NASCAR.
No, I don't even know if those guys do.
Come on, bro. You're driving for like 4 hours.
Pee, I've heard guys like
or
just
depends.
let it. I've never heard that. Possibly, but pee and I think I've heard that a couple times.
You should be able to hold your poop for.
I
don't know, the revving of the engine.
But it gets 100, plus in there. It gets hot as hell. Like it's just sometimes it can be really boring to watch for 4 hours.
Yeah, left turns.
Let's get the last 5 laps.
Baseball's boring to watch, to be honest. Other than the playoffs.
Yeah, same type of thing. Just slow paced. Although they're going super fast. Not a lot.
You watch the first 5 and then you just turn it off and you come back.
Yeah, those last 5-10 laps, that's the playoffs of a race. It's when it gets down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, but get into rubbing and
yeah.
See, I knew that word.
Yeah, rubbing. Your Days of Thunder speak.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Again, Game 7 NLCS already took place. You're listening to this. You know who the winner is. Our World Series matchup. Again, we'll get back to it. World Series starts Friday, so we'll be back after the first couple games next week, Monday or Tuesday, with the first 2 of the World Series. Again, go follow, subscribe, and we appreciate everybody listening. Again, happy birthday, cuz. And everybody have a good week and enjoy the World Series. Watch some playoff baseball. That's here.